And we are started.
All right. Hi, guys. If you have questions throughout, type them. We're going to try to keep track of them. And then hopefully I will answer them. And then by the end of it, if not, we'll go back through and see what we need. My name, for those that don't know, is Tiffany Smith.
And I'm Gina Lichtenberger.
The famous Gina Lichtenberger. I am an RN and I work with, I'm a certified wellness RN and I work with clients privately. And the number one question I get is on supplements. Is anyone overwhelmed about supplements and like, do I need them? What do I need? When should I take them? What should I take? It's very, like, it's good that there's so much health and wellness information out there, but it is very overwhelming. And so what I want to do today is go through and talk about those questions and hopefully make it, because what I have found is most people are like, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know. There's 25 supplements. I'm just not taking any of them. And so what I hope to do is help you know where to start and why to start and the difference in them. There's a lot to cover, so excuse me if I'm talking really fast, but I want to make sure that we get through as much as we can. Did you have anything you wanted to say on that?
I'm just excited to be here. I'm excited to learn about the supplements. I am a supplement junkie. I have been guilty of taking too many supplements and taking supplements that have the same thing in them. And so then I love to learn about it. So I'm super excited about this too. There are so many supplements that Young Living has to offer that's why we're looking at all these notes right now, trying to make sure like we're on track and we're going to be able to get through all the information. The slides that we go through are going to have a lot of like the basic, most important information that you'll want to remember, but then Tiffany's going to elaborate a lot and I probably will too. I'll probably add my 2 cents in as well. So
yeah, we may not follow in the slides. I tend to just start going off on what's coming, but okay. So the first question is, do I really need to supplement? The answer to that is yes. Even if you are eating a perfect diet, which I'm pretty sure none of us are, there's just a lack of nutrition and minerals in our food. It's a lack of soil, a lack of different, like our waters are treated. So even if you're eating organic, really, really well, your body isn't getting all of the nutrition it needs. Which is sad, but it means that we do have to supplement. And then my next question after that is, well, okay, so I'm buying Centrum, silver. Is that fine? No. And the reason, there's multiple reasons for that, but let me just start with one. The majority of supplements on the shelf, you go to Walgreens, you pick up something, are synthetically made. And so they aren't a whole food nutrient source that your body recognizes or can uptake or utilize well or efficiently. Most of them are GMO. And so that means, again, that your body is like, foreign substance, I don't know what to do with this, I'm out. And it doesn't use it, and it can actually cause issues. Third, there are multiple studies. You can actually Google this on mainstream media outlets that have shown that just going in and getting some of those common brands, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS brands of different vitamins show that many of them do not even have what they say they have in it. So independent labs go and get them and test them. And they're like, this is vitamin C. Oh, guess what? There's absolutely no vitamin C in this pill. So you're wasting your money and who knows what you're putting in there. Then also when they go a step farther from that, many of them are testing high and heavy metals. Again, if you have a GMO source, that means you're definitely going to be having Roundup and things like that on it, which is horrible for your body. And so you're taking things that are actually causing harm that your body doesn't actually recognize, and that it's not able to utilize. So I do get this a lot. Man, I tried this. I took a B vitamin for a long time. It didn't help at all. And then my next question is, what B vitamin did you take? And usually it's one of these. And I understand that supplementing can it's a little bit of an investment. But I'm a strong believer that like I would give up my health insurance before I give up our supplementation, because I believe that our supplements are more important to our health than just about anything else that we're doing. And so when we say, those are the first questions. Do you need supplementation? Yes, everybody does. Can you just buy any kind of brand? No, you can't. So then we go to, there's multiple brands of really high dollar quality brands of supplements. So why have we chosen to mainly, and I do use a few things from other companies that we don't have, but why have we chosen mainly to stick with Young Living? And that does have to do with what's on the screen right now, and it's called bioavailability. And so what happens is when you put essential oils in to supplements, they help the absorption rate of your body. And this makes a huge difference. So even if you're taking a good non-GMO, like none of that stuff we just talked about, like a real good vitamin, your body, and they've shown in studies, only uptakes still about 30% of it. So you're not getting a ton of what you're taking in there. This is one reason why people have to take such high doses, where it's like, well, we only need 2,000 of vitamin D. Why am I having to take 20,000? Because your body's only taking a small portion of that and actually utilizing it on a cellular level. And so when we put essential oils in, and if you understand, I work with a lot of different practitioners, health and wellness practitioners, and a lot of times they'll tell me, well, I can't recommend Young Living supplements because the dosages are so low. And I, at that point, immediately say, you don't understand the chemistry of essential oils. Let's talk about that. Because what happens is when we do this, it makes it where the cells can uptake it. They increase the absorption rate of the nutrients on the cellular level, and they also help remove the waste from the cells so that you're getting more of it and able to utilize it better. So it is really important in supplementation, like the entire goal of it is to have it uptake at a cellular level. That is the main point or goal. That's the only thing that's going to be effective. I don't even really care what my blood levels say. I want to know what my cellular level says. And there are tests for that we can talk about if you're interested. And so this is why it's really different and important. And then the beautiful part of it is if our bodies are uptaking 80% of this, then we're not having to take massively high doses. And sometimes that's still necessary, but you're not having to take super high doses on a regular basis, which like your body is still processing them. So your liver is still processing out supplements. And so it's not as hard on the body to take supplements, and they're not as harmful or hurtful in the digestive system. So has anyone ever taken supplements like, I just can't handle it, my stomach hurts, like, etc. And these tend to be easier on your body because it helps break them down and helps uptake it. I'm already completely off script, by the way.
Yeah.
Am I stressing you out?
No, you're not stressing me out. I mean, it's totally fine. And I know that when I first started, all of this stuff didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but I will say that even if we're not talking about Young Living, even if we're not talking about this, I just think about like my last doctor, I had low iron, I have low iron and I'm working on that. But so I'm supplementing with beef liver and other things, but she was very specific to tell me, do not take this at the same time that you take any dairy products, because if you take dairy products with iron, just telling me what it does. And so it's the same type of thing where it can block your body from absorbing the iron, and essential oils do the opposite. So they will help your body to absorb whatever it is that you're taking. And obviously there's, science behind which oils are paired with which supplements that will help to make them more bioavailable.
Yeah, I think it's important to note too that one thing I love about Young Living is all of our supplements are made by physicians and pharmacists. And so they work together with chemists to understand essential oils and the components of those. And so they are very well formulated. And again, working with multiple practitioners, when you look at them and what is in them together, it's so important to know, like what we're going to talk about sulfurzyme, and tons of doctors are recommending you take MSM as a supplement, but your body cannot utilize it if it doesn't have a certain set of minerals. And so if you're just buying that on the counter and swallowing it, you're literally just paying for expensive pee, to be honest, because that's all you're doing is peeing it out. And so it's so important to know which things work together for a synergistic effect for your body. And so I love the fact that we have a team of people, of chemists, pharmacists, doctors, studying and looking at things and putting them together to make sure that our bodies can use them the right way and not have to take more than is necessary to be hard on your liver. So do you want to talk about that? Okay, so I'm going to say the cleansing trio is what we have on here first. It's one of the main, another question we get asked is like, I need to do a detox. I need to do a detox. And I love that. It's important. I personally try to do one at least twice a year. I think it is very, very important for our bodies. It's like a reset for your body. And so I think it is very important. What I would say right now, though, is if you have not been receiving good nutrition at all, or in a high state of stress, then doing a detox may not be the best option first. A lot of people say detox first because you want to get the toxins out where your body can uptake things. I believe when you're using the Young Living oils with the oils, that's already happening in the process. And what I want is for you not to deplete your body if it's already depleted. Does that make sense? So yes, cleansing is super important, but I personally believe that you need to be on a good nutritional regimen for about 90 days before you do any kind of a cleanse. But we're going to start talking about it because a lot of people believe different. That's my personal opinion. Some people will say you need to detox first.
And either way, it's fine. But I will say that if you go with what Tiffany's saying, you will have a lot less detox reactions. People a lot of times feel like they have the flu, or they just feel overall just really yucky if they just jump into a detox and they don't have that nutrition that she's talking about. So it makes a lot of sense to me. Makes perfect sense to me. Essential zyme is the first thing, like whether you're doing the cleansing trio or not, essential zyme is an important thing to have. It helps chomp everything up. So if you're not eating a lot of things like kefir, bananas, soy sauce, pineapples, avocados, bee pollen, papaya, sauerkraut, miso, kiwi, there's a whole list here. Then if you're not eating a lot of foods that naturally have enzymes, then you need to be taking enzymes because our bodies just do not produce them. And essential zyme is a great one.
Also, if you've had your gallbladder out, you absolutely have to have them, which a lot of females have. It's really important. And I take essential zyme every day. I don't just take it when I'm cleansing, but when you are cleansing, it is an important factor. I'm gonna move through.
Yeah, I take it with each meal. And then I don't know how much to go into it because we want to kind of breeze through. So it does say to take it with your largest meal of the day. I take it actually with breakfast and with dinner. Mm-hmm. And then after essential zyme is, it's not letting me.
Someone said total game changer when they started it. It is a game changer.
Did I skip through two again?
Probably. We have technology issues. Sorry, we love having the slides up, but to be honest, we're not super tech savvy with them. So I'll go through that. The second one that we have is comfort tone, which we have skipped the slide for. And so comfort tone helps move the waste through your system. It will help things go through. It helps rid extra waste, extra gas in the colon. And so it's a blend of herbs and essential oils that help support the digestive system and get things moving and grooving. A lot of people take this even when they travel and stuff. If they tend to get constipated, this will be something they take on a regular basis just to help get things moving along. You do have to drink a lot of water with it, but that's the point of the comfort tone.
Yeah, and it's bulk forming, and so is ICP, which it's the acronym on here is IC poop. Like, think about it that like IC poop. It's a good way to cleanse your colon. And so it's the psyllium supplement that they have. It's kind of like if you would think over the counter, like the Metamucil or Citrasil of Young Living. So it's much better for you. It's much more bioavailable, but also it's the same thing. Drink a ton of water because it is definitely bulk forming. It'll help push things through. It'll help get all that stuff out of your colon that's like stuck in all the ridges and just help push it on out.
Anytime you have anything with high fiber, you need to drink a lot of water with it. That's just normal. Okay. So next we want to talk about the basics. And so this is a question we get asked, like, where do I start? I don't know what to do. And so these are the basics that we would say to start with. And if you can only choose one, I would say to start with Master Formula. So we, Young Living, even on their website, has these broken down into like daily longevity, female wellness, male wellness, hormone, digestive wellness. So what we have basically three categories. We have overall nutrition, and then we have targeted support, which is like we have hormone support for specific things. We have eye support, we have thyroid support. So that's targeted nutrition. And then we have cleansing supplements. So what I'm saying is I think it's important to start with the nutritional for at least 90 days before you even start with a hormone or not. And as females, we tend to really want to jump into that hormone support. But it is important to note that good nutrition in equals good nutrition out. I'm quoting Dr. Purser, and he's amazing. You should follow him on Facebook. He has tons of great information, but good nutrition in equals good hormones out. And so I would challenge you that if you took Master Formula alone for 90 days, you might just not need targeted support for your hormones. I've had multiple, we both have had multiple testimonies of people with lab work who have done that. And it has completely corrected what needed to be corrected just with Master Formula alone. So, but we have Sulfurzyme. Life 9 is our probiotic. Master Formula is what I just talked about. We'll go a little more in depth, and then Omega Gize. And we're going to go a little more in depth into these. So I already talked about Sulfurzyme. It's MSM, which is a naturally occurring organic form of dietary sulfur. We always get asked if you're allergic to sulfa drugs, can you take this? You are getting organic sulfur in your diet. You're just not getting enough of it. And so I've never heard of anyone having a reaction to that like they would a sulfa drug.
And I'm allergic to sulfa drugs. I don't know if I've ever told you that. I'm highly allergic to sulfa drugs, and I take 10 Sulfurzyme a day. And I was deathly afraid to take it because I get a rash and I get really itchy anytime I am prescribed sulfa drugs. So I just haven't taken them in years. But Sulfurzyme is a mainstay for me. It's important.
It's really important. So it's dietary sulfur. What that does is needed in our bodies to maintain the structure of proteins, to protect our cells and our cell membranes, to replenish the connection between cells, and to preserve the molecular framework of connective tissue. It's also highly anti-inflammatory. And so that's why someone with autoimmune issues might end up taking a lot more than is recommended because they're really trying to get inflammation down. And inflammation is the name of the game. Nutrition and inflammation are just so important for health. So, my daughter has an autoimmune disease and she's taken 10 to 12 sulfurzyme a day since she was 10, I think, or 13 or something. So as I talked about, your body cannot uptake MSM or utilize it unless it has the minerals that it needs. And so our sulfurzyme has wolfberries in with it. So this also helps with free radicals, but it is by design that it has the perfect mineral makeup that helps your body to utilize the MSM. And so that it also has coenzymes that help support the assimilation and the metabolism of the sulfur in your body. This helps support liver, circulatory system, immune system, inflammation. Literally everything can be helped with sulfurzyme. So my entire family takes it. My youngest is 9. As soon as they can start swallowing pills, I have everyone take a couple a day. We've seen weirdly, if you have a kid or somebody who's like mosquitoes are really attracted to him, it could be a low sulfur problem. And so we increase it for those. And we've noticed a difference in the mosquitoes being attracted to them. And then we increase if there's inflammation. I have inflammation in my knee right now. So I've actually already today taken 12 and will take 4 more before bedtime because I'm taking it to help the inflammation in my body go down. So it is important, and some people can start with like the 10 or 12 if they have inflammation issues, and they can end up going down. And so we would call that almost like a loading dose, where you have to take a higher dose for a little bit and then work down. Anything else? Sorry, I'm talking.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot. And so Lacey asked how I even knew to take 10.
Yeah.
And I asked Deborah Rayburn, because everyone was raving about sulfurzyme, just how it was great and how it would help with their joint issues and all this stuff. And it just wasn't working for me. So I was super frustrated, and I'm determined to make things work. So I messaged her and asked her, and she told me to keep upping it. And she said, start with 10. And then she said, back it off, like, then don't take it for a couple of days and see if you can tell a difference. And I could. And the way that I can tell now is sometimes when I travel, I forget to take it. I forget to pack the sulfurzyme because I don't put it in my pill keeper because I take so many of them that they won't fit. So it's next to it. So sometimes I forget. And every time I travel almost, then I come home and it's like getting out of bed in the morning, and my feet and my knees and everything are just hurting. But when I'm regularly taking it, I feel great.
Yeah.
I take them all at once. Yeah. Well, no, I take half in the morning and half at night.
But you could take them all at once. The powder, we have sulfurzyme capsules, which is what we were just talking about. And there is a powder. The powder does have a prebiotic. It's really just kind of preference if you want one or the other. If you're going to be taking high amounts, like 10 a day, I think it's just easier to do the capsules than it would be to drink the other one.
And I've noticed, I don't, maybe it's just in my mind, but I really do feel like that the capsules work better for
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to do this one?
Okay, so Omega Gize. I am ashamed to say that I totally forgot about this one for a while. And when I first started, this is one of the ones that I took constantly. So I need to get back on it. Everyone talks about how important omega-3 fatty acids are for you. They are for your brain health, for anything to do with brain, with emotions, with hormones, all that stuff. It's just so important for your skin, for so many things. And this is one of the best sources that you can get because it does have vitamin D. Anytime you take any kind of omegas, you want to make sure that it also has vitamin D included. And this also has CoQ10. So it's one of the best sources that you can get.
So it's basically 3-in-1, because a lot of people take CoQ10, they take an omega, and they take a vitamin D. And so this puts all of those into one. It's really important to note too that a lot of omega is sourced from just any old fish, and fish can be really high in a heavy metal called mercury, which can cause lots of issues and has been linked to Alzheimer's and dementia. So again, you're taking something supposedly to help with brain, but because it's not sourced right, it's actually harming it. And ours is very, very cautiously maintain with the fish oil and stuff. So it's a very, very clean product which again, I cannot stress enough the importance of.
Okay, Life 9, Life 9. Yeah.
Okay. Go.
Life 9 is our probiotic. I just rave on and on about Life 9 because I had a lifetime of antibiotic use because of the issues that I was dealing with my life, trying to get it all figured out. And in fact, I was on antibiotics for 8 years straight because doctors thought that was the best thing for me. And I know that they did the best that they could, but it wasn't great for my gut health. It wasn't great for candida overgrowth and just my gut biome. And so I've tried lots of different probiotics in my lifetime. And this is the first one that's worked for me. And I know everyone's gut is different, but this one works. And people have been like, oh, you need to try this. I've even had a naturopath look at it and say, well, I think you should really try this one instead. And so then I'll be like, well, okay. And I'll try it. And then lo and behold, I'll start getting those symptoms again. So it is just, it's the best probiotic that I've found. I've been taking it now since 2012. So 10 years I've been taking it. Yeah. And I know, some people say, oh, you should only take it for a short term. It just depends on you. It depends on, your body. Hopefully, your body. I know my body, and I can tell immediately whenever I'm starting to get off because my mouth will get dry. My tongue will get kind of a white coating on it, things like that. And then I'm like, oh, I gotta get back with the Life 9. So Life 9 is incredible.
It's if you don't know that there's a massive connection between brain health and gut health. And so gut health, we cannot stress enough. It's important for all parts of your body, but it is a very important for brain health. It's been linked to depression, anxiety, all sorts of things. So they've shown that even just one antibiotic can cause an increased rate in depression later in life. So it obviously antibiotics save life. And so sometimes you need to take them. If you are taking an antibiotic, it's important to double up on your Life 9, but take them at least 3 hours apart from each other. If you take them together, then the antibiotic just kills off all of the Life 9 as well. So especially if you're in a season where you're needing an antibiotic for something, just make sure that you're replenishing what's being killed, because the antibiotics just kill the good and the bad. They don't know the difference. And so they're just wiping out everything. So just make sure you do that if you need that. It is better to take a probiotic at night if possible. If it's not, just take it when you can, that's better. But taking it and allowing it time to use in the evening,
just would not turn. And then now I'm like,
I skipped one. Okay, I'm going to talk about Master Formula because I'm obsessed with Master Formula. So Master Formula was designed by doctors and scientists. It was designed using thousands of SpectraCell reports. So SpectraCell is the test that I just talked to you about. So when you go to the doctor and they do a blood serum test, they're testing what is in your blood serum. That does not necessarily mean, though, that your cells are uptaking it and utilizing it. And so this is why a lot of times people are like, the doctor like, you're fine, everything's fine. And you're like, but I don't feel fine. Like I'm really exhausted or whatever it is, because they're just measuring one thing. I think it's also important to note that when you look at the recommended daily allowance on any supplement, that is actually the lowest amount your body needs to not be sick. Okay, I'm going to say that again. So the recommended daily allowance is the lowest amount your body needs to not be sick. It is not the amount your body needs to function at its optimum. Okay. And so that's why a lot of times you will see functional medicines or natural health practitioners recommending a higher dose as well, because we're like, just because you need this not to get sick doesn't mean you need that for actual wellness, right? And so they took all of these SpectraCell reports and they looked at what wasn't really being uptaked into the cellular level. And based off of the study of all of those, they designed what I think is honestly the most perfect supplement ever. So first of all, it has prebiotics in it, and prebiotics help the probiotics actually do their job. So it is important to have some prebiotics in. It helps to neutralize free radicals in the body, and it also includes antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals, and other base nutriments. Okay, so nutriments there's a difference in nutrient and a nutriment. So a nutrient is it provides calories or vitamins or minerals, but nutriments actually nourish and promote growth. They repair your tissues in your body. They provide and maintain energy, and they help with just general life. So nutriment is actually much stronger word than just the nutrient or nutrition. It's important to note that Master Formula is vegetarian friendly. It is not rated vegan though. It has no preservatives. It has no artificial stimulants. It has no artificial colors. You guys, you'd be shocked how many on-the-counter supplements have artificial dye in them. Like, what are they doing? It's so crazy. Okay, so it talks on here about the synergetics suspension isolation. So this means that these come in little satchels. I didn't bring one with me, I should have. And it has 4 different pills inside the satchel, and you take 1 satchel a day. And so what happens is if you combined all of that stuff and put it on the shelf, then certain ingredients, again, the chemical reaction would change it by the time it got to you, and it wouldn't be able to work in your body as well. So this is very thoughtfully designed for your body to be able to utilize every single part in them. It has different capsules. Like I said, it is a whole food nutrition. And so again, it's not synthetically made. It's all made from forms of things that our body would recognize as being a natural organic substance so that it could utilize and uptake it. It has a liquid capsule, which has your fat soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. And then it also has essential oils in it. And then it has our powder capsules, which have all of the B vitamins and our mineral chelates, which are zinc, selenium, copper, manganese, chromium. Especially zinc transfers our enzymes from the starting point to the ending point. So this actually helps the B vitamins get to where they need to go. So that's why those are put together. Then you have a caplet, and in the caplet, it has spectra fruit, vegetables, herb blends. This has like broccoli, onion, apple, tomato, elderberry, lots of kale, lots of different stuff in it. And then there's another caplet, which has vitamin C, calcium, potassium, choline. Choline is highly, highly important for your brain. It's important for your kids' brains. Choline is very important for just detoxing in general. And so that is in there as well. And then it has prebiotics, like I said earlier. So it's important too to note that they have a certified organic food extract that provides their B vitamins, and that our B9 is a folate, not folic acid. So if you've heard of MTHFR gene mutation, which at least 80% of the world has now of one form or another, then your body cannot take folic acid, and the majority of B supplements are a synthetic version of folic acid. So again, it's doing nothing for you. And then we also have a vegan form of D3 in there. So most of the vitamins on the market are actually a vitamin D2, and it's derived from a type of cholesterol. D3 is the natural form of vitamin D that you need. It's produced in the skin after you're in the sunlight and stuff. And so it is a more potent form that, again, is exactly what your own body produces and uptakes through food, not a synthetic or cholesterol derived D2 version. I cannot even go on about this enough. Like, it is literally, I think this is the best product Young Living has. You combine this with Ninja Red and take them both for 90 days. And I guarantee you will feel like a new person at the end of the 90 days. Like, I have no doubt that you will feel totally different. A lot of people, a lot of women, especially after the 90 days, If you are premenopausal, after the 90 days, you may be able to take master formula just 3 or 4 times a week because it is that potent of a multivitamin. But again, you want to do the 90 days straight and see. And then I have found for me being perimenopausal that taking it every day is still highly beneficial for me. Okay, sorry. I can go on and on about it.
No, I know. I'm glad that you are, because I did not start taking master formula until we talked to Dr. Purser, and he told us, like, don't even start to try to supplement anything for your hormones until you've taken master formula for 90 days, and you might not even have to do anything. And so then I'm like, seriously? Okay, I'll do it. And I have noticed a huge difference. So I do take it every single day, and I've backed it up. I probably take it like 4 or 5 times a week, but all my kids take it. Well, Berkeley doesn't, but my 12-year-old, 14-year-old, 17-year-old, 19-year-old, they all take it.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I got us on track, but now I've got to figure out. Doing it again. I did it. Wait.
Is that what it's not? Okay. Yeah, I think so.
13. Yes. Okay. So we have Super B, multigreens, Super C, these, let's see where we are here. I'm just trying to see what the most important things for these are, because it goes into each one of them. Let's just go into each one of them individually. Okay, so Super B has been a game changer for all of us. Super B also is okay for MTHFR, right? The way that it's formulated. So there are a lot of people who have been having all kinds of issues, and they did not realize that they had MTHFR. And there are probably people on here who are like, what in the world is that? There are some doctors who don't even recognize it yet, but it is super important. B vitamins are very, very important for so many different things. For energy, we mostly think about energy, but there are so many other things that B vitamins are important for. My kids right now are taking it for acne, and it's really helping them with that. But so Super B.
Yeah, the two things outside of the box I think of for B vitamins are acne and anxiety. So if you struggle with anxiety, it could be a low B vitamin, because all of like your dopamine and your serotonin, your neurotransmitters are built off of your nutrition, obviously, and B vitamins play a huge role in that, as well as the probiotic gut health. But if you do not have the B vitamins you need, there is really no way that you can't feel anxious. And so it's really, really crucial. I mean, there's actually like pharmaceutical vitamin Bs that are designed for depression, because it's that they're figuring out that it's that big of a deal. But only like functional medicine doctors would be the ones that knew that. So,
and almost everyone is somewhat B deficient. And one thing that Dr. Purser talked to us about it, he's the one who developed Super B as well, but he is just that if kids have major issues during puberty, it's usually a vitamin B deficiency. So sometimes just getting them on master formula, having them take Super B, that will get them completely regulated.
And because we asked him specifically, we're like, well, so hormonal, like teenage acne is low B. And he was like, yes, because when they're growing and they're doing all this thing, they don't have the nutrition. And we all know how they tend to eat anyway as teenagers. But he's like, it is like their body needs a kind of an extra dose of the B vitamins because of the growth spurt and the changes that are happening in their body. So, we're the same way. All of my teenagers take Super B. Actually, all of my kids, I should say. So I have 9 to 21. They all take Super B. And then the older teenagers take master formula, and the younger kids actually take multigreens, which we're about to talk about.
Okay. Yeah, go for it with multigreens.
Okay, so you want to change it, or you're gonna multigreens is a capsule. Like, it is the greens that your body needs. And one reason I give that to my little kids, it is also high in choline, and it has tons and tons of different stuff in it. So again, it's from whole food sources of greens, alfalfa sprouts, barley grass, bee pollen, Pacific kelp, and then it has essential oils in it as well. And so it's a good detoxer. We're about to do a lymphatic detox in May, and we're having everyone order this as well for the lymphatic detox, because the greens actually help detox and pull things out of your body as well. So it's really good to take. For me, I will grab it if I'm feeling slumpy in the afternoon, and I will actually take about 4 of them, around 3 or 4, and that gives me natural energy through the rest of the day. So I don't go get a coffee or something not as good for me. So it also has Melissa oil in it. It has several oils in it, but Melissa oil is like a very high antiviral oil, and also has a very high natural response, help your body with anti-inflammation. And Melissa oil is the priciest oil that we have with Young Living. And so the fact that it's in here and they're getting it every day is one of the cheapest ways to do it, but they're still getting the benefits of it. And then we all know about vitamin C, right? So we have Super C tablets as well. I only take this, or we only take this if we need it. So this to us would be like a bonus because we're already drinking Ninja Red and taking the master formula every day. But if we've come in contact with something, if we're traveling, if we just feel like we need it because stuff is going around, then that is when we take vitamin C. As you get older, it could be more necessary. Part of the reason that collagen goes low as you age is because our vitamin C tends to be lower. So the older you are, you may need a little bit more. Again, I wouldn't do that until you've taken master formula for 90 days. And my guess is you probably won't need it after that, but then it's just something we have around for when we do feel like we need it. Is that how you use it?
Yeah. Okay. And I think that covers all of what were the different categories? That's just the main targeted nutrition, right?
Yeah.
Is that right? And then we're going to move into like the more immune supportive supplements that Young Living has.
So again, these are not ones that the multigreens from here on out, they're not necessarily ones we would say take every day, though some people do. So that would be dependent, very, very dependent on you and what you needed. But these are 2 that we keep in our home all the time. MU-Pro, which one's first? Inner Defense. So these help boost up your immune system. So Inner Defense, we take when we're traveling, or it's the first thing we start taking at first sign of illness. So we start using oils, diffusing them, putting them on our body, but then we will take that. So if I'm like, oh, is my throat kind of scratchy? I grab an Inner Defense. Do I feel like someone's getting a kidney or a bladder infection? We grab an Inner Defense. When we're traveling, we're just more likely to get sick. So we take it every day at that point. In the fall, like my husband is a firefighter, and so he's in contact with everything all the time. So especially in the fall and winter, he does take this every day, just because we want him to stay healthy, and he generally does almost all the time. So, and some people with autoimmune issues do take it daily.
I take it every day. I've taken it every day for 12 years. Not 12 years, 10 years since 2012. This is what was my gateway product, and this is the one that really keeps me where I need to be. And a lot of it, as I'm reading this, I'm sure that a lot of it is because it creates an unfriendly environment for yeast and fungus. And after being on antibiotics for all of those years, this is just what really helps to keep my body in balance. But everyone else in my family uses it exactly the way that you described. So they just use it as needed, or when we're traveling, everyone takes it all the time. Love it.
And then MU-Pro is the next one, which has been out of stock, and I've had more messages about MU-Pro coming in than probably anything. Well, when Progesteron's Plus went out, I got a ton of message about that. But this I do give to my little kids every night. I give them just a half a tablet. It's chewable. It helps them stay well. It has mushrooms. It has a little bit of melatonin, so it helps them sleep well. But really, it's about the immune support for me. It has orange essential oil in it, which has so many amazing benefits to it. And so it's a really, really powerful product. The mushrooms in it are really powerful in and of themselves, and to buy individually would be really expensive. So it's actually a really well-priced product as well. But I only give it to the little kids, a half a tablet every night. It does help them sleep and it helps them stay well. Yeah, so again, this is more targeted support. So for heart and brain health, we have CardioGize. And then for brain health, we have MindWise. MindWise is like we've had my mom drinking this. It's really beneficial for obviously the mind, but I've had kids take it, and kids with learning issues have taken it regularly. I'll be honest, my kids don't really like the taste of it. And so I kind of have dropped off from it for a little while, just not fighting that fight. But it does help with daily brain fog. It helps. I think it tastes good. Do you think it tastes all right?
Yeah, but I like weird taste.
Yeah.
But Berkeley feels the same way. I really, really wanted Berkeley to love it because she has issues with she has a seizure disorder, but she just doesn't love it.
Yeah. It helps with neuron production in the brain. It helps with inflammation in the brain. There's so many good benefits to it. So if you
could add it to smoothies, and that's what we do sometimes. We're just like squirt it in the smoothie.
Yeah, I like this. You can come in a bottle, but it comes in these individual packs. I personally like the individual packs just because it's easier for me, and the bottle has to be kept in the fridge, and I tend to forget to take things in the fridge. And so this is nice because you can just throw it in and travel with it. And then CardioGize is our targeted heart support. And so obviously, there's a lot of heart conditions going around. The majority of conditions are from a lack of cellular nutrition happening. And so over long term of your body not getting what it needs, it tends to create issues in different places. And so this has CoQ10, selenium, folic acid, K2, which is important, and not super well. It's in several Young Living products, but most every other brand I've ever seen, you have to buy it separately because it's just not people. It's really kind of newly discovered, even in the wellness world, but Gary Young knew about it for years now. So he had put it in a lot of stuff. So this is what that's for. Anything else to add to that? Or do we have any questions happening?
Probably. Let's answer the question at the end.
Okay. So then the next one we have is Agiles. I just started taking this not too long ago for joint and shoulder. We had a frozen shoulder. So I was like, I'm going to try this. This has collagen in it, but it also has the stuff that your body needs for collagen. A lot of people are selling and buying collagen that is not grass-fed. It's GMO, like it's non-organic. So again, I'm just shocked at what people are selling and taking, but also they're taking it in ways that your body can't uptake it. So this also has frankincense and copaiba, all of these oils that are so good for inflammation, are so good to help the cells repair in the body. And I've been able to tell a really big difference. I just got through like my first bottle of it, and I can definitely tell a difference in my joints when I'm taking it. It also has hyaluronic acid, which has been shown to be really good for skin and for wrinkles too.
And BLM, I think these are kind of similar, honestly. And I was taking Agiles for a long time. And then I decided just to switch it up and take BLM just to try it. And it works the same way for me. So BLM is very similar. It also has collagen, and it has wintergreen as well, balsam fir, clove. I don't see that it has copaiba, but I take copaiba.
But it has wintergreen in it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Really good stuff.
And bone, it stands for bone, ligament, muscle. Right?
Yeah, it's bone, ligament, muscle. So I do have a bottle of this. If someone in our family sprains something or breaks something, they immediately start taking this. And we've had multiple things like that happen with a big family. And every single time the doctor's been like, man, this healed so good and so fast. I can't believe it. I'm like, it works.
Okay, this is one thing that we did have lots of questions about. as hormones.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a common question. And again, good nutrition in equals good hormones out. So please start with the master formula for 90 days and see where you're at. After that, if you know that you need targeted support for something, most of these are named for you to know what the support is or what it would need. And there are fairly decent descriptions on the website. Never start. I don't think you should start like a bunch at one time. So a lot of people are like, oh, I started doing Progestins Plus and Thyramine and this and that. And it's like, well, you probably don't need all of that. And we have to take things for a steady amount of time to see the difference. So we are used to like fast food world. Like, I want this now, here's this. So it's like, well, I took the Thyramine today, my thyroid didn't change, so I'm done. That's not how it works. We have to give our body the building blocks it needs. And it takes a good 90 days, honestly, for your body to regenerate and restore. And so I want to encourage you not to take too many things at once. So I would start with master formula, the Life 9, those 4 basics we said, if you can start with those. And then if you're still needing hormone support, just add in one at a time, try it for a good 90 days, see how you feel, get your levels tested. And then if you need to switch it up or change, you can. So Thyramine is a support for the thyroid specifically. There's a lot of people who this has really, really, really helped. So
and this is another one where, I mean, I know people who've been able to get off their thyroid medication. I know people who haven't been able to, but it's one of those things to pay attention to, and also to pay attention to your dosage. So some people taking the regular dose, they didn't notice a difference in their blood work, but then doubling that, they did notice a difference. And it's worth trying it. And again, for the 90 days, like she said, always 90 days.
So Cortistop is the next one we're going to talk about. So Cortistop, I love Cortistop. It does not work for everyone. Gina is one of those persons that it doesn't work for. So again, it's important to note that not everybody's are made the same, or bodies are made the same. And this is why it's so empowering for you to know your body and know what it needs. Cortistop is designed to help support and neutralize or balance out your cortisol levels. So cortisol is the hormone produced by your adrenal glands when you're in stress. And so anyone been in stress any of the last few years? I think so. I think we all are there. So this is like the fight or flight syndrome, and your adrenals start to produce high amounts of adrenaline and cortisol. High levels of cortisol have been shown to cause extra weight gain around the middle. Our bodies hold on weight. It changes a lot of different processes in our body when our cortisol is high. And so it is important to balance it out. Gina had severe adrenal problems. I hope you don't mind me telling your laundry. Severe adrenal problems, like was to the point of full extreme adrenal fatigue. And when she was to that point, the Cortistop was just too much for her body. And so she needed to take it back and go back to the nutrition and the other support for it. But for the majority of people, it's a really good product. You don't take it all the time. No one should ever have to take it all the time. You take one bottle that should reset your cortisol stress levels and help. If you are feeling really lethargic, if you are struggling with weight loss, especially weight around the middle, if you are feeling just like something's wrong and no one can figure it out, a round of Cortistop might be highly beneficial. Also, if you know that you're in a time of stress, if there's a high time of stress, even if it's a good stress, like you're planning a wedding or you're, about to move or building a house or something like that, those are still stresses on the body. It might be a good idea to just order this and take it through a season of that time to help support your body and help those cortisol levels. It is really, really important to keep your body calm and do other things, but I'm going to give you just a little bonus tip. Diaphragmatic breathing helps restart your adrenals better than anything else. So just taking 5 to 10 diaphragm breathing, which means you breathe from your diaphragm, deep breaths, helps reset those adrenals. So before you can get this in, start doing that every day, especially if you're in a high stress. It's one of the best things you can do for your adrenal glands and your cortisol levels. And it's absolutely free, and you can all do it right now even.
I'll just tell you in case you're wondering why it was so, because that was pretty dramatic of why it was bad for me. If you do decide to take it, or really any supplement, always watch how your body reacts. And what it did for me specifically was that it made me angry. It made me feel really jittery and angry, and like thoughts racing and heart racing and stuff like that, which should not happen with cortisol. But like she said, I was in full on adrenal fatigue. This is made for people like she said, going through normal situations, going into a time of stress, or going into adrenal issues, not once you've already crashed. I don't know much at all about prostate health.
So the men supplement we have, obviously, this is for prostate health. So older men, this is a good idea to take anyway, probably after the age of 50, 55. That's part of the men's wellness. Another product that we have that I don't think we have a slide for is Power Jize, which is really helpful with testosterone levels. And so around the age of 40, testosterone levels start to go down. That is also related to DHEA and B vitamins as well. So I would still start with the nutrition and then add in B vitamins, but like my husband is 47. He gets Power Jize every day. And actually my teenagers do as well, to help support my teenage boys, to help support their body. But if you're a woman and you know you have low testosterone, Power Jize can help you as well. If you have low libido, Power Jize can help you for that same reason, the increase in testosterone. So those are the two main. So the prostate health one, which is obvious, it's literally named prostate health. And then the Power Jize, those are the ones that I would specifically say are amazing for men. Yep. So we did not cover all of them. And so, like I said, on the website, they are broken down into female wellness, male wellness. And then if you're in our groups, you can search in there for specific different supplements and see what you can find. We have tons of information in there. If you're new to Young Living, we are happy to talk to you and get you started. So the best deal, I think we all know that the subscribe to save option is the best deal. If you are not a part of Young Living, it's not some crazy cult you have to join. It's just ordering product. You do order with a person so that you get classes and support like this. And then when you order it and add it into a subscribe to save, which is just like Amazon subscribe to save, then you get a 24% discount, and you can set it up to come every month, 2 months, 3 months. And then it just comes automatically, honestly, just like you're subscribed and save on Prime. And so that is the best way to order. When you order on subscribe to save, you do get points back. And so then you can purchase other product for those points. And then it's 10% back, like the first 3 months, and then 20% back. So you're getting a 24% discount plus 20% back in your Young Living bank is what I call it, which is just like money to spend on other products. And then you also get some free gifts like a peppermint oil at 3 months. And there's a formula called Loyalty, which smells amazing. So you get those things as well. So that is the best way to order, but you can just log in and order as a customer and pay full price for it as well. But I don't know why you would do that when you can get 24% off. So that's the best way
and then you can
do it.
25% off even after, 25% back.
Yeah. After you stayed on it for like, I think 24 months, you get 25% back. So that is super helpful, because then I'll like order a lot of the stuff or stock up like those extra things I said, like we like to have an inner defense and Pro, those things on the shelf. Then I can order those and just pay the shipping for it. Okay. We're going to go through now and do some questions.
Okay. The first question that I saw, a lot of these have been answered, but someone had a question about whenever your pee is orange whenever you take master formula or super B? Does that mean you
Yeah,
don't need it?
so some things you don't need. If it's water soluble, your body will break down and get rid of it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're taking too much or that you don't need it. And there's like almost all B vitamins create a yellow P. So it is really alarming sometimes when you forget you've taken it though, and you're like, why is my P neon? So, but it is part of it coming out, but it doesn't mean that your body hasn't utilized it.
It also may mean that you are a little bit dehydrated though. So
Mhm.
just make sure that you're
Sure.
drinking, I mean, obviously drink lots of water all the time.
That's mosquito good. And gel capsules made out of.
Yes, you can take master formula and super B with
The
MTHFR.
gel capsule, our gel capsules are vegetarian capsules. On the master formula is vegetarian, but not vegan.
And then Cody, yes, you can take it 3 to 4 times a week, but he did recommend taking it for 90 days straight before you back it up to 3 to 4 times a week.
But she said men. He actually said men need it
Oh,
daily.
okay.
So
Okay.
women are the ones that can go down to 3 or 4 sometimes, but he said men need it daily.
Cardiogize, do we know it has folic acid instead of folate? Do we know that? Does it say that on
So they went through a reprocessing when this was discovered, and so I'm pretty sure it's been reformulated. They like went through and reformulated everything that they could, but we'd have to double check it. Olive essentials is if you're not getting enough of those healthy fats. So healthy fats are so crucial and so important, especially for hormones. Honestly, one of the first things if people are having really bad cramps or bad cycles, the first thing I ask is what their healthy fat intake is. And so that would be a time that if they just really can't get in, maybe they were sensitive to avocados or something, they really can't get in enough, then the olives is really good. Healthy fats have been shown to have so much positive impact on the cardiovascular system and on the brain. So that's what olive essentials would be good for.
I love Mary's testimonies about how her husband's been able to work out for the first time in a year from taking Agiles, and that Cortistop helped her with her migraines. That's amazing.
I will say I have some friends that take Cortistop just like they would a Xanax or something. Like it doesn't affect me that way, but it's really, really calming for them. So they will just have it and take it on like a really bad panicky day.
We can look up, I can look up.
Yeah, I don't know when
I don't know when Prostate Health will be back, but we can look that up. And when I read this, where you said you've heard women can benefit from prostate health too, I read the ingredients and I don't see why they couldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's not a hormone supplement or anything like that. Is Power Dry okay to take when breastfeeding?
I just on those, honestly, I always answer the same way. Like you have to look at the ingredients and make the decision yourself, because I would be very comfortable taking almost anything from Young Living, breastfeeding, but other people aren't. And so you would need to look at that and just make that decision based on what you know about you and your body.
Was it Omega Gize? The 4 key items, was it Master Formula, Sulfurzyme,
Master
Life9,
Formula, Sulfurzyme, Life9, and Omega Gize. I think you said the question. Yeah. Oh yeah, mineral essence is amazing. Like I'm all about
so
the mineral
good.
essence.
So good.
I mean, it didn't taste good, but you feel so different when you take it.
And I have a Berkey water filter, which removes everything, including all of the minerals out of the water. So I have to add, I take mineral essence because it adds the minerals back in. It makes a huge difference.
So yeah, you can take Master Formula with MTHFR. It was actually, they did that study on all the Spectra cells, and they figured out that really about 70–80% of the studies of the people had MTHFR. So the product is kind of based off of people that have it and need it. Unintentionally, that's just how it ended up. But he did say that you will probably still need to take Super B or an extra B supplement with it, because you're going to need a little bit more than any just multivitamin type supplement would have.
How much, these two questions, I don't know the answer to, how much CoQ10 is in Omega Gize?
So I would ask why you want to know. My guess is that somebody or some doctor has told you that you need a specific amount of CoQ10, and I'm telling you that when you take it with the essential oils, you may not need the amount that they've told you. And so, for instance, if you look at the vitamin D on the Omega Gize, it seems like a really low amount compared to what your doctor is going to tell you to take. But I can tell you that I have proof from lab results from myself and from many other people that switching off of like pharmaceutical high doses of vitamin D and switching to the Omega Gize created a better result even in our blood work than that was. So I would ask you why you're concerned about the amount of it. And I would just encourage you to try it. But you can also note that Agilis has CoQ10 as well. So if you wanted to take like both of the products for that reason, and also the MindWise has it. So you could double up or take different products.
And then does Super B lower your copper? I don't know the answer to that one.
The copper issue is too long to go into. I would say no, especially if you're taking master formula or you have a healthy diet. I do not ever worry about copper with Super B. Sleep Essence has nothing that we have in it is going to be bad for you. So a lot of times what happens is they say, hey, this is bad for you, but they're saying this in a synthetic form or a GMO form or something like that has been shown to be bad for you. And so a lot of times, like for instance, our alcohol is derived from essential oils. And so people will say, well, I don't want this with alcohol on it on my skin, but ours is derived from a different way. So it's denatured and it's fine because it's actually like the organic compound. So it wouldn't be harmful, like it would be derived from a natural source for sure. Yeah, Clear Sage is awesome for that, for estrogen drops for sure.
Yeah, and a lot of our female supplements that we didn't go into have, which I'm surprised this didn't cover them.
There's a lot more female supplements that you can look at and go into, but I honestly am not sure you'll need them if you will just trust us and do the master formula for 90 days. I will say I do believe Ninja Red is highly important, and so the two of them together, and again, that has orange oil and a lot of stuff in it that's really beneficial, especially for people with MTHFR as well. And so it's important to take that too. So
I do agree with you about Clear Sage though. That has been a lifesaver for me. I love it.
I had someone in my group ask specifically about energy levels that had been taking master formula. And so I would say to wait the 90 days of that and Ninja Red. And then if you still feel like it's low, you may need to do a round of cortisol because it probably means that your cortisol is still a little high and that's causing it. And then I would suspect after that you would feel a lot better. If you didn't, I would actually recommend you get some lab work and see, and you can order SpectraCell through different places. So you can look online, but I would say to get a SpectraCell done and see what is really low if you're needing thyroid support or hormone support, and then you could base the next step on that. Anything else?
All right, do you guys have any final questions? Oh my goodness, we just barely went over.
Oh, I can't believe it. I talk so fast. It's so hard for me to rein it in, y'all. Okay, thank you guys so much for spending your evening. I hope this helped you feel less stressed. I hope you know where to start and why you need to start. And I hope that you feel empowered to make the changes that you and your body need, because honestly, you are the most knowledgeable person about your body and what your body needs. No doctor, no nurse, no specialist is more knowledgeable about you and your body than you. So be empowered to do what you need to do and to make the changes that you need to make. And if you don't like the answers you're getting with a practitioner, then find a new one.
Yes.
Yes. All right,
you guys.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.